Welcome to Valencia. Today you join me out here in Spain, where I'm coming out to the very first Formula E group test of this new season. We're going to take a look at some brand new teams, brand new cars of course, and some brand new drivers, and you guys are coming along for the ride. Welcome to Electric Tuesday. Roll the sting. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm at the circuit now, and the reason I'm looking forward to it is because this is a brand new era for Formula E, which kind of starts here. Obviously started for most of the teams, in fact for all of the teams, some time ago. They've all done their own individual private testing before today, but this is the first time that all of the teams come together, and we just get the very first glimpses of any kind of performance, albeit with all the normal caveats of testing. But it should be a really interesting day. I'm also looking forward to seeing what all these brand new Generation 2 cars look like all together on the track. What do you think of the look of them? That's the first time, other than a show car, that I've seen one kind of in the flesh, certainly one that's rolling out onto a racetrack. And I've got to say, I think they look awesome. I think they've got the design of these things exactly right for Formula E. You know, this is not the sort of thing you'd expect to see on a Formula 1 car. It's not the sort of thing that most series would do. But Formula E is not most series, and I think they had to go bold. They had to do something that was completely out of the ordinary, and I think they've done exactly that. So I think it's just about spot on for what this championship needed. A futuristic car for a futuristic platform. But let me know what you think. And there he is, the champ. What can he do this year? Jean-Eric Vergne and Andre Lotterer, teammates last year at Techeetah, won the championship. Vergne won the championship as a privateer entry, and that was pretty substantial, because they took on the might of Audi, they took on the might of Jaguar and all the other manufacturers involved in Formula E, and as a privateer entry, albeit using the Renault powertrain, which was pretty decent as it was, but they put together a sustained effort, a great team, great teamwork, and managed to win the title with Jean-Eric Vergne. It was really quite impressive. This year though, Techeetah have moved to join up with one of the big manufacturers, DS Performance, part of the Citroën brand of course, who have left previously the DS Virgin Racing team, and now partner up to become DS Techeetah. Nissan of course have taken over the Renault entry from last season. Renault, of course, the most successful of any team here over the first 4 seasons of Formula E. Nissan come in with the same E-Dams operation running the show, so expect them to work very, very well as a team. But what is their brand new powertrain like for this season? These Generation 2 cars, of course, have a brand new McLaren battery that's common to every single car, but behind that, the electric drivetrain, including the gearboxes, differentials and suspension, and all of the electronics that run it, are brand new and bespoke to each manufacturer. Have Nissan done a good job in that area? That is the brand new McLaren designed and manufactured battery that powers all of these Formula E cars, the Generation 2 cars, this season. Incredible piece of engineering actually, and it just shows the lengths and the development rate that has gone into battery technology in the short few seasons really that Formula E has been going. Now the cars will do an entire race on that one single battery, whereas before of course they had to stop halfway through and get into a different car. Dragon, one of the last teams, in fact I think the last team to not unveil their Season 5 livery. So I'm hoping that that's going to be a good one, because we've got a couple of big clashes. I don't know if you saw it, but have a look at this. Look, this is the HWA outfit, brand new to the championship, just launched their car last week along with the Season 5 livery. Take a look. Now I appreciate that's not the whole car, that is just the bodywork, but sort of black with blue accents. They remind you of anybody? So that was Lucas Di Grassi, a man that everybody thought this time last year would be walking away with the championship. They didn't do it, not because the car wasn't quick enough, but because they had all sorts of reliability issues. So far, from what I can gather from today, from the timesheets and from talking to people up and down the pit lane, most people are saying pretty much the same sort of thing. If these boys get it right, they are looking very, very strong. And if Audi are looking strong with their new powertrain, well, the Virgin guys will be ones to benefit from that, because they have formed a new partnership with Audi which sees them use the entire tech from that Audi car. So the entire drivetrain, the electric drivetrain, now comes from Audi in the back of that Virgin car. Because Formula E races happen in city centres, in street tracks that are custom made just around the actual streets that cars are driving on, sometimes not much more than 24 hours earlier, it's very difficult to replicate that at a purpose-built racetrack, and you can't just go and shut down a city centre to go testing. So what they've done here at Valencia is put a chicane halfway down the straight. I've got to say, it is savage. Check this out. That was Andre Lotter's Tachita going very, very slowly, but this at full pace is a savage chicane. Really like that. They've used the halo and the shroud around the halo to incorporate some lights, a light system they can then use to show fans at home watching on television and here in the crowd very, very easily, very visually, so the status of the car, the status of its performance levels, of its state of charge of the battery, those kind of things. They can do whatever they want with it, but I think it's a really nice use of a part of the car that nobody really likes to see visually, but kind of has to be there. And that, folks, is it. That is the end of day one testing. Lots of running done by some. There have been battery problems, I have to say, up and down the pit lane. Today, for the first time, they've been running with their fully refreshed race spec battery, which, as far as I know, is the same spec as the testing battery, just with refreshed components. There have been a number of cars up and down the pit lane that have had to have batteries out today because of various different technical problems. I don't know the ins and outs of exactly what they are. There's a lot of secrecy around that battery still at this stage. But hopefully they'll get on top of that very quickly. But there are a few teams that have lost mileage, lost running time because of that. But the biggest thing to come out of the first day seems to be that the cars are running very well, generally quite reliably for most people. Tyres are one of the biggest challenges in terms of making them last, understanding, a little bit like Formula One, understanding how hard you can push and for how long. They've got various things planned for the rest of the week. They've got a sort of simulation, race simulation planned over the next couple of days where they can try the new different strategy modes, because in Formula E this year, because we're not stopping for a mid-race car swap, to add some kind of element of strategy, there are different power modes, two different power modes that the cars or the drivers must use throughout the course of a race. There's a normal mode, and there's what they call an attack mode. And so that attack mode will be triggered at certain zones around a track for certain periods of time. They have to test all of the facilities that operate that here at the test track. So that's going to happen. It does look like there is going to be rain. I think there's rain forecast tonight, which is obviously going to wash the circuit. But I think on Friday as well, it looks like the forecast says there's going to be quite a lot of rain. I think these brand new Gen 2 cars, with the extra power that they have, it could be quite a handful in wet conditions. Last year, the maximum power in qualifying mode has been 200 kilowatts. This time around, the maximum that this particular car with this new battery from McLaren can achieve is 250 kilowatts. That's quite a significant increase. So because it's the end of the first day of running, the teams are all now queuing up, just as they do in F1, at the end of the pit lane at the FIA garage to put their cars onto the FIA scrutineering patch, the flat patch, which allows them to get very accurate measurements to make sure that everything is legal. Hopefully they don't find any nightmare scenarios. Right, that is it. My flying visit to Valencia is over. It's been a really good day, not only seeing these cars in the flesh for the first time that do look absolutely awesome. They're going to look great when there's a full grid of them launching off the line in just a couple of months' time. But it's been great catching up with everybody, the Formula E family, because this really is a family atmosphere here. It has been for the first 4 seasons. It's still looking like that at the moment. I wonder if it will change as the manufacturers take over this sport. But at the moment, it's a really happy, friendly place. People are very helpful, really chilled, really relaxed. Pretty much the opposite of how lots of people in the Formula 1 paddock are, I've got to say, with my cynical hat on of years of Formula 1 experience. So it's a really nice place to be. There's an interesting story emerging. I don't know yet whether there are grounds to it, but a couple of weeks ago, the new Nissan Formula E team announced their driver lineup. Unsurprisingly, Sebastian Buemi was in one car. Alex Albon was in the sister car. Alex is a British Thai racing driver. Great driver, really deserving of a seat. But he was here today, his car was here, and yet he never got in his car, he never drove it out into the circuit. And yet nothing seemed to be going on technically with the car itself. And there are now lots of rumours that he's about to be announced as a Toro Rosso Formula 1 driver taking Brendan Hartley's seat. It's going to be an interesting one to follow. We don't yet know any details. They've been very tight-lipped about it. No one's saying much here. But there is lots of talk and lots of rumour around this paddock that he will be driving in Formula 1 very, very soon.